All right, I am with Phil from Castle Rock Wines, and Phil is going to give us a little insight into the Russian River Pinot Noir that we get from them and pour in many of our locations. So, Phil, tell us about Castle Rock Wines.
Sure. So we just celebrated our 25th year in business. The first year that the company was started by Greg Popovich, no relation to Pop in Texas. But when Greg started the company, our first year we sold about 2,400 cases nationally. Last year we sold about 500,000.
Wow.
So we've grown quite a bit. We grow year after year, and our method is a little bit unusual, but it really works. So basically, what we do is we buy grapes. The high majority of what we make are from grapes that we have purchased. We do purchase about 5% juice, and it's normally for blending purposes. So we have a winemaker who's also a vineyard manager. His name is Eric Lauman, and he's in a pickup truck somewhere in California right now, looking at a vineyard, working with our farming partners, which is really cool. One of the other fascinating things about our company is, selling 500,000 cases, that's a lot. We actually have 9 full-time employees in the company, and that counts 2 owners, a winemaker, a couple of salespeople like myself, and some back office. So we virtually have no overhead. We don't spend a lot on marketing, although we've been very fortunate over the years to get great press with Wine Spectator, Wine Enthusiasts, etc. So what we do with all that money that we're making, we pour it back into the grape contracts. And Greg has been a master at getting these long-term contracts from farmers that we know, and Eric works with them literally on a daily basis to make sure that everything is going the correct way. So that's really been our success, is just spending heavily on the grape contracts.
Yeah, no, as we were talking earlier, I've personally worked with Castle Rock Wines for a number of years, and within the context of the Max Restaurant Group, we've used a number of wines. And I've always really found them to be great values. They always kind of fit, especially when I'm looking for good quality wines to serve by the glass. And with this particular wine that we're talking today, which is the Russian River Pinot, I find it often difficult to come up with a California Pinot, which is a style that people like, but at a price point that I can really pour by the glass and kind of balances all the things that I need in our various restaurants. So how do they make Russian River Pinot Noir, which is usually much more expensive than what you guys sell it for, and keep it affordable, other than low overhead, minimal employees, and all that kind of stuff?
Right. Well, that's really what it comes down to, is having long-term contracts with our farmers. Basically, we have, for the Russian River Pinot Noir, the vineyard that we use is Roblindo Ranches, and that's in Sonoma County. We actually do the crush at Coppola in Geyserville. Okay. And they do all of our bottling for us. So when we go on to the bottling line, they're Castle Rock for the day. So everything works through Coppola. They're great partners. We love them. They're very easy to work with.
Now, isn't the Coppola winery up in Sonoma? Isn't that that was another winery formerly, wasn't it? Or did they build it?
I believe Coppola did purchase it. I don't know what it was before he took it over, but he's been there for years, as you know.
Yeah.
So, but again, they're just great partners to work with, because we do the majority of our crush there for the Northern California wines that we make, and in other locations in Central California, we do crush on site. So, it's a great program. So
yeah, so just tell us a little bit about the Pinot style. How does it smell, taste?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so actually, as far as the nose is concerned, you're going to get a nice layer of plum and cherry on the nose. The actual, when you drink this wine, I get, in addition to the plum and cherry, some sweet vanilla oak, spice, cinnamon, and
So
some floral notes on the end.
that would imply that it's spending some time in wood. So tell us a little bit about the wood program.
Yeah, well, this is a reserve wine.
Okay.
So what that means is that we do use some juice that has been under oak.
Okay.
So it does have a limited time on oak, but the notes come through. I get that every time that I taste it.
Okay. So you said plums and basically some little bit darker red fruits, which is often what I associate with the Russian River and Sonoma Pinots.
Right.
Some nuances maybe of some spice or a little touch of oak.
Yes.
And being Pinot Noir, it's not going to be very tannic, so smooth. Maybe a little bit higher in acidity than other red wines, but pretty classic, I think, for Pinot Noir. And how about food and wine pairings? A couple bullet points on what you might
sure.
pair up with.
It's excellent with lamb, chicken, salmon, light pastas. It goes very well with as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very versatile wine.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be consumed with a lot of different things.
Well, that's certainly what I like Pinot Noir about, and I drink a lot of Pinot Noir. So, and I have it with a lot of different kinds of food. We also have vegetarian entrees that it can pair up really well with. I think the delicacy of the delicate nature of Pinot Noir lends itself well to that kind of vegetables as we're moving into spring and summer here. Often work really well as in addition to all the stuff that you mentioned, like the poultries and salmon especially is a great partner for it and things like that.
Exactly. And as you know, because you're very familiar with our winery, we have about 22 different wines that we produce, and of that, 8 of them are Pinot Noirs.
Right.
So that's what we're known for.
Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about Castle Rock's Russian River Pinot Noir today. And any last points you want to leave us with, or just great value?
I think we've covered pretty much everything. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about a winery and the Russian River Pinot Noir, and I wish you luck in reopening.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. All right. Thanks. This is Phil from Castle Rock Winery, and we just talked about the Russian River Pinot Noir from Castle Rock. Thanks, Phil.
Excellent. Thank you.